Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to pre-market update. Looks like Santa is not coming this year. We are down. Futures are down almost 1.2% on S&P 500. Nasdaq is down almost 1.5%. Most of the stocks are down other than oil. And looks like people are trying to take profits before the year end. Like if you look at daily chart of S&P 500, I think it made a nice gain. If you look from, let's do a weekly chart just to see how much gain we had this year. So this is 2024 January. Here you go. So this is a candle of January. From here, you can see by the way, we do get a little bit of pullback from December 26th to January. So we do have a pullback period last year as well. So I don't think there's a lot to worry about. But since then to the top, S&P 500 is up 30%. All right. So having few percentage down pullback is even good for another leg higher later on. So I think that's what's happening right now. So I don't think much to worry about. So people are just taking profits, locking gains before a new year begins. So let's review how we are doing. Guys, please hit the like button. I really appreciate. Share this channel with your friends and family and support this channel. I would really appreciate that. All right, so S&P 500, these are the levels I'm looking for. I'm looking to buy in this green zone. So we are right now in the neutral zone, this white zone, and I'm also keeping an eye on RSI. All right, RSI, whenever it's dark red background here, it's usually a good time to buy. So I think there's still a little bit of more room to go down. So I think there will be some more downside, and then when it goes in this green box here, that's an area where you don't want to be shorting. Okay, so this is the area where I think expect a bounce, because every time we touch this dark red background, you can see here we get a bounce. You can see nice rally after this. Here we get a bounce, nice rally. So you can see, and inversely is also true. Whenever it goes to the green, it's a good time to sell. Okay, you can see here red background rally, here red background rally. So you can see how time and time this indicator predicts it. Long term, I'm looking for this to buy in this zone. Now from top to bottom, this was the top on S&P 500 to where we are right now. We are down around 3.5%, and before we were down around 5% here, right? I'm looking for around 10% correction. So after 8%, which is around 5,600 to 5,300, okay, 5,300. So this is the area around 10% from the top. Looking to buy here. So from where we are right now, I think we'll get a pullback, another 4.8% to another 10%. All right. So this is the area we want to be buying. Now, just to remember, there's also this top red line as well. Okay. So there is also a possibility for this to rally by spring next year to 6,400. Okay. So don't rule that out. Okay. So anything is possible. The orange line is around 6,200. That's also possible to touch. Now, if I go to MES chart, this is US 500. So the levels will be slightly different. This is MES chart. So MES is possibly 6232. Looks like that's possible. In the other side, looking for 5,300 to 5,630. This is the area. Okay. So in the middle, we usually don't want to do anything. You can see we want to just wait for it to go to either green zone to buy or red zone to sell. Um, and even on MES chart, you can see time and time it does come back to the green line. Okay. This is where we want to, you can see here we had a pullback, then a bounce, then again we came to the green line. This is the area you want to be buying. So we'll watch patiently and see whenever it falls there. So just keep that in mind. All right. So we're done with this chart. Let's go to daily chart and SPX. Now, if I SPX, this is election gap here. Okay. So this gap happened on election day once Trump was declared president, and big gap up. At minimum, looking for this gap fill, guys. So this gap is 100% will be filled. We just don't know when. From when we closed on Friday to this gap fill is around 3% down. We're already down 1%. So let's look at SPY. All right. So we're already down 1%. SPY needs from where we are right now another 1.8% down to fill this gap fully. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. Again, all these gaps are filled. It's just a matter of time, because you can see on Dow Jones, this already filled this gap. Russell 2000 also filled this gap, and Triple Q did not fill it. Okay, so triple Q had a gap even way down from where it closed on Friday to that gap is almost 5.5% away. So again, this is the gap target, and even on Bitcoin, you can see this gap. This gap is not filled. So looking for that gap to fill around 77K. Okay, so in terms of cycle analysis, sorry about that. Now there is a gap down here. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see gap down on Friday. So they and today also probably going to be a gap down. You can see SPY is already down. So there are two gaps going to be created. Um, and there's also a gap down. So I don't know which one is going to be filled first. They could fill this bottom gap first and then go rally fill this gap, or they can start rallying at the market open, starting to fill some of this gap and even make a new all-time high and then come back lower. So let's see where we are very tense. I don't know which way it's going to go. It's right in the middle. So we'll see how maybe today's price action will tell us a lot. If it falls today's gap down, if that gap doesn't get filled, most likely they're going to try to fill this election gap first before they rally it up. So just keep that in mind. On live futures, you can see it's already below all moving averages and trying to go lower. So if it touches this blue line, that's also going to be a good area to buy, but we'll keep an eye. And Nasdaq is also, well, wait. Again, if it breaks this previous low, which is around 5,800 S&P 500, that's going to be very bearish. Okay, so keep that in mind. Right now, still could be, this is a lower high, but if this low holds, it can still rally. Okay. Same thing here. It's coming near some support, around 50 moving averages. So if it can find support, it can still rally from here, Nasdaq. And on NDX chart, the gaps are all the green lines here. You can take a look. And Dow Jones already filled most of the gaps, still going lower. And on Dow Jones TIA ETF, next gap is around 415, 412. So that could be next targets. And on IWM, next gap is around 211. So this is the Russell target. Okay. Oil going towards resistance. All right. So you can see nice bounce here. There's a gap around 74K. It's going to be filled at some point. So looking for that gap fill at some point, but nice rally here. Oil miners gave everything back. Yes, on Friday was up nicely, but then gave everything back. Even XLE was closed on Friday. You can see rallied, found resistance on this green line and gave everything back. Oil did the same thing. Oil rallied on Friday and then gave everything back, but now it's again going higher above all moving averages. Very good move from oil, going above this previous high, so that's good. So it's trying to change the trend, and probably it's going to start blasting through this 74 level. That's going to help these oil miners to go through these, all these yellow lines are gaps to fill. On XLE, you can see all the yellow lines are gaps to fill. All right. Okay, looks like market is open. That's fine. So let's keep doing our analysis based on market. So we'll see how things come up. Bitcoin. All right. So Bitcoin here, uh, Bitcoin is looking pretty weak. And let's see 1 hour chart. Is it breaking any trend? We have to keep an eye on this. It's right near previous lows here. Okay, so around 92K. If those low hold, that's good. If it breaks below this previous low, which I think it will, then this is the area of some support here around 90K. If I want to draw a box here on Bitcoin, you can see this whole area, little bit of support here. Okay, this is where we are right now, near some support area. If this thing breaks, then probably Bitcoin is going lower. All right. And if this breaks, I think let's say around till like 89K, there's some support here. If this one doesn't hold, then we're going to go straight down to fill this gap around 77. Again, this gap will be filled. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So just keep that in mind. All right. Ethereum. Ethereum getting a 8 count SPY signal right now in the middle. Live market is also could be a bear flag, could be breaking down from here. There's a gap around 2970, okay, 2980, this area here. So keep that in mind. There's also a top gap. So we'll see which one they fill first. Most likely they're going to go fill this bottom gap, and there's another gap around 2236. So we'll see how that shapes up. Okay, so futures are down already. You can see gap down. So we have to keep an eye of this gap is going to be, are they going to rally from here, fill this gap, or let's show you for SPX. Are they going to rally to fill this gap, or they're going to keep bringing it down? You can see this gap down. Are they going to now rally? Let's put a gap here. Here you go. Make it yellow. NDX, you can do the same thing. You can put a gap here, right? And I can fill the other gaps later on. So anyhow, we'll see how it goes. What else is here? Hang Seng Index, China, gap around 18K, gap around 21K, right now in the middle. Let's see where it goes. Bond market is looks like low, new low with no divergence. PPO has little divergence. So bond market, you have to wait for it to close above this white line. Okay, you can see this white line acted as a resistance all the time. You cannot be bullish until it closes above this white line. So just keep that in mind. And if you go keep natural gas up 16%, wow. Oh my God, this one is making a new. Okay, so it came straight down here near 2022 end, and it's probably gonna go straight up. Wow. Okay, nice move from natural gas. People will be very happy whoever bought natural gas. Wow. Okay, so there you go. Gold, again, if it breaks this previous low, which I think it will, next support is around 2400. That's where I think it's heading. Silver is heading towards probably around here, 22, 23. This is a nice area of support. There's also some support here, a minor support here if it wants to hold. So we'll see how it goes. Copper is also near some support here, nice support. Sugar is also near support and bouncing. Wheat is near also some support here, support area. But really you want to be buying above this 5770 level, all right? Copper, a nice bounce after touching support here, just going to make a new high. Dollar is looking very bullish. Next resistance is here around 113 previous high, so everything is looking good for dollar. Again, this is Enbridge. XOM is probably selling with the market. You can see CNQ is green. XOM is little weaker, but not that bad. Okay, so anyhow, just keeping an eye on that. Okay, in terms of tech stocks, what's selling? Let's keep an eye on this. Tesla, blow off top, guys, going lower. Tesla is going lower, probably to this big gap around 253. Okay, this big gap up probably happened. I don't know why it happened, such a big gap, but probably going to come back to fill this gap. There's a gap here, 250. There's a gap here around 218. There's also this big gap here around 140s. I don't know, guys. It's like a lot of opportunity to go back. At minimum, come here around 330. There's some gap, some support here. Okay, so I won't be buying Tesla here. Apple near new highs. Lot of room to go lower. Go around 236 previous breakout. That's quite possible. All these tech stocks, guys, if you remember, I said I'm going to stay away. I'm not going to buy at new all-time high. You can see Google, multiple gaps to fill. Microsoft finally going lower. No gaps at the bottom until 375. So that's interesting. From this high to lower is around 7%. So again, for a long-term hold could be a good investment. CrowdStrike, a lot of room to go down. ServiceNow, NVDA, just holding here around this 10 moving average. I think long term NVIDIA is going to 80 below 100 for sure. AVGO again, multiple gaps, guys, multiple gaps. They filled this gap today, so we can delete this. So that's quite possible. AMD also looking weak. Couple of gaps around 119, 117. I think it's going towards 112. And all these other stocks, Shopify, you can see big earnings gap. They're gonna fill all these gaps, guys. These gaps do get filled. CRM, one of the subscribers asked me to review. I said this gap is going to be filled. It's already filled. The next gap is all the way down around 297. So a bit scary there. Okay, I think that's about it. UNH could be a good buy, but looking for a new low, of course, to form some divergence. That hasn't happened yet. So we'll wait patiently. TD Bank is also another good investment. We'll see. CNI already making a new low. We'll see how that all ends up. I'm going to add Bell Canada here as well. BCE, some telecom stocks, and then Thales, TU. Just keep an eye on these also. Pretty interesting telecom sector stocks because you can see, I'll show you BCE is down like you can see. Just keep going straight down. I don't know how long it's gonna even tell us it's going straight down. I don't know how long they're gonna keep bringing it down. We'll see. Anyhow. Okay, you can see pumping on finally some strength on oil miners. XLE finally going green. Crude oil, let's just pump, and stock is declining. So we'll see. It's just a reversal. Money is flowing into energy stock. We'll see how it ends up. And then VIX 17% up. VIX has to fill this gap around 27, guys. So this is gonna go high, fill this gap before it goes lower. Looks like. So I'll see how it all ends up. Okay, guys, that's it for today. All the best, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.